The next project keeps us in New York City on a related issue of stormwater management. The advisor for this project was Kizzy Charles Guzman, and Andrea will present.
Good evening. My name is Andrea Moore, and tonight I'm going to be speaking on behalf of our capstone group, presenting our project, Leveraging the Co-Benefits of Green Infrastructure in New York City. We're going to start by going over our project background, methodology, findings, resources for implementation, and then go over our next steps. The City of New York faces serious environmental pollution of its waterways, from sewage and stormwater during rain events. Like many cities throughout the country, New York City has an aging combined sewer system where wastewater and stormwater go through a single sewer line to a sewer treatment plants. During many storms, the stormwater generated from pavement and rooftops exceeds the system's capacity and is discharged into local waterways to the tune of 27 billion gallons of untreated wastewater each year. This degree of pollution imposes steep environmental and economic costs that prevent safe recreation and damage fish habitats, as shown in this image of Newtown Creek in Brooklyn. The New York City Panel on Climate Change has projected that storms and precipitation events will become even heavier with the coming decades. Therefore, identifying ways to mitigate the impacts of sewage overflows is critical to the agencies responsible for environmental quality. Our client, New York City's Department of Environmental Protection, is the agency who manages these combined sewer systems, as well as New York City's water supply and sewage treatment plants. DEP looks to combat this issue with both traditional sewer systems, known as gray infrastructure, and green infrastructure. Oops, my apologies. Green infrastructure, such as green roofs and rain gardens, work to absorb and retain stormwater instead of releasing it into the sewer system. DEP has allocated $2.4 billion to green infrastructure in New York City on both public and private land. A portion of this funding has been earmarked for a green infrastructure grant program on private land. The grant program requires projects to be located in at minimum eligible watersheds, as shown in the blue on the map. These areas have combined sewer systems. Qualified projects in priority watersheds, shown in the green areas on the map, are given preference because these areas have the highest volume and frequency of sewer overflow events. To date, the grant program has administered 3 rounds to 38 projects totaling $13.1 million. The recipients have primarily been large institutions that can afford the initial upfront capital costs required of the program, as well as ongoing maintenance costs. As you can see on the map, the majority of the grants have also gone to the East River watershed in Lower Manhattan and Northwest Brooklyn. While DEP is successfully meeting its stormwater capture goals, which is the agency's mission for this program, there haven't been many projects in the priority watersheds. DEP realizes that green infrastructure has multiple benefits, such as reducing urban heat islands, and that considering these additional benefits might grow a new crop of applicants in other eligible areas. DEP presented our capstone team with just this question: how could their grant program maximize the additional benefits of green infrastructure while still managing stormwater where it is most needed? The team then focused on answering the following questions. How are other cities organizing a comprehensive green infrastructure grant program? What exactly are the additional benefits that green infrastructure they can provide to a community? And what local resources are available in New York City to assist DEP in securing qualified applicants? Our team divided up into 2, with one analyzing case studies, which led to national and international best practices, while the other team researched scientific studies on the proven benefits of green infrastructure. We then looked at publicly available data that was able to define vulnerable sections of New York City population most affected by these problems. This research informed our approach on the local level through the assessment of community groups and consultants. Our research found that we were able to identify 4 widely accepted benefits from that green infrastructure can impact above and beyond stormwater capture. These included urban heat island, air quality, energy, as well as additional community benefits. With the goal of maximizing these additional benefits, we developed a decision tool for our analysis. We used publicly available data from city agencies such as the Department of Health and City Planning, and created a scoring system of 14 indicators associated with those 4 additional benefits, weighting them based on population vulnerability, such as those under 15 years of age and over 65. These scores were standardized across the range found in New York City, and some to provide a total score by community district. A higher score represents a greater need and therefore a greater opportunity to benefit from green infrastructure. If we were to use this tool right now, we'd select the borough as well as the community district from the drop-down menus above, and automatically a score would be generated below, as circled. This tool was also able to determine the communities with the highest score in DEP's priority watersheds, such as Community District 6 in the Bronx. This slide highlights the vulnerability factors of this community. Surrounded by major highways, carrying some of the highest volumes of traffic in the country, it's no surprise that air pollution is a large issue. In addition, the community ranks above average in heat stress hospitalizations, unemployment, obesity rates, and over half of households are making less than $25,000 a year. Concurrently, findings from our benchmarking of 13 best practice cities showed that innovative outreach and development strategies make for a successful grant program. For example, in Birmingham, England, they've developed a publicly available planning tool, similar to the one we created. Their tool identifies vulnerable neighborhoods and prioritizes green infrastructure in those places. This gives the city's residents a more informed, scientific, and transparent approach to making changes in their communities. And in Syracuse, New York, they have made a user-friendly website detailing the progress of past recipients, including their total costs, the consultants they use, as well as the contractors. This information being available has assisted in over 120 applicants being awarded funding in just 3 years. Because DEP noted that they've received fewer applicants than desired, we researched local resources to support projects for communities in need. We found organizations already involved in community development and green infrastructure design that could support candidates through this challenging technical application process. These include community groups such as Sustainable South Bronx, who connects green infrastructure with job development, and consulting services such as Design NYC, a group of designers providing pro bono work to create social change. Specifically for our pilot community, Bronx Community District 6, we identified 2 potential applicants: Fordham University and St. Barnabas Hospital, the community's largest private institutions. Further, these organizations' missions in education and health represent additional benefits of green infrastructure. And like past recipients, they are likely to have the upfront capital cost required for the program. Going forward, we believe the decision tool we developed has the ability to assist DEP on a number of levels. Currently, the tool is designed to allow the grant team to supplement their grant evaluation by looking at multiple grant applicants to see which projects have the potential to make the most impact in key communities. We also see the tool as a way for DEP to target outreach to a particular community district, being aware of some of their biggest challenges that green infrastructure can help assist with. Finally, DEP has also noted that the tool can be used for larger planning purposes. In summary, green infrastructure has the opportunity to provide additional benefits to communities throughout New York City, providing them with better air quality, lower energy costs, as well as cooler temperatures in the summer. We're excited by DEP's grant program has the opportunity to add value to New York City by supporting projects that maximize not only stormwater management, but additional environmental and public health issues. Our decision tool will give DEP a better sense of issues affecting communities and promote more effectively distributed green infrastructure across New York City, ultimately supporting in-need communities, as well as helping New York City meet its overall sustainability goals. A special thanks to our advisor, Kizzy, and thank you all for listening.
Okay. Any questions for Andrea?
Always have such a quiet
Yeah. You mentioned here the Fordham University and Barnabas. What were the drivers for the selection? Was that given by the Bronx as the area where the most need was identified, or was it also the institutions?
So it was partially because they were located in that specific community district that we were using as a pilot. And it was also because of the large barriers to entry that the grant program really has. And that's having that upfront capital cost, and which you are then reimbursed at the end. But you have to be able to have that upfront capital to be able to implement the project to begin with.
Yes. So it seems like a really great thing to work on the green infrastructure kind of projects. In your research and working with the DEP, did you find that they were also still funding the gray infrastructure projects more so, or in equal balance?
So their plan is to fund both of those. And it's really looking to repair the gray infrastructure systems, as well as to put in more holding tanks and things of that nature, but trying to limit having to build additional sewer treatment plants, I think, in general.